Story shows exactly how criminal organizations are adapting to Trump's border security. They're literally using the shared economy to plan international smuggling operations while exploiting our maritime borders. Let me break down how this whole operation unfolded because it reads something out of a movie. It all started when investigators discovered a group of men had rented an Airbnb in Fort Pierce and were planning to travel to the Bahamas to pick up drugs and smuggle undocumented immigrants back into the United States.
Soon finding this involved 3 boats, a counter surveillance team, and 38 people.
Think about this for a second. These criminals are using Airbnb to plan international drug trafficking operations. They're booking vacation rentals like they're planning a family trip, except instead of going to Disney World, they're coordinating cocaine smuggling from the Bahamas. The next morning at 5:30 a.m., 2 boats left Fort Pierce Inlet while federal agents were watching everything. But here's where it gets interesting. There was a third boat that nobody initially knew about. This shows the level of sophistication we're dealing with here. Diversion.
The boats, all between 33 and 42 feet, were spotted, with 2 complying and the third trying to escape. On board, we're told, is a total of 370 pounds of cocaine and 30 Chinese nationals, including 2 children.
When you've got multiple agencies working together, DEA, St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Homeland Security Investigations, Florida Fish and Wildlife, and Florida Highway Patrol, this is a massive operation. Now, here's what really gets me about this story. Among those 30 Chinese nationals were 2 children. Let that sink in. These smugglers put kids on boats with 370 pounds of cocaine and sent them across international waters in what essentially is a floating drug lab.
Traffickers flying commercially into the Bahamas, then paying about $30,000 to $35,000 per person to be smuggled into South Florida by boat.
So it's criminal organizations in Southeast Asia and China that are bringing them.
We're talking about criminal organizations in Southeast Asia and China that are specifically targeting Chinese nationals for this pipeline. But here's the part that should terrify every parent in America. They're using children as human shields in these operations. When you put kids on boats with hundreds of pounds of cocaine, you're not just trafficking